So, you want to start investing, but it feels kind of overwhelming, right? Like you need to be some kind of Wall Street wizard just to get your foot in the door. Well, it really doesn't have to be that complicated. We're going to break it all down and give you a clear, simple path to start building your wealth one step at a time. Let's dive in.
All right, let's just jump right in with a question for you. What do you think is the single most powerful tool you have for building wealth? I mean, is it some secret stock tip you got from a friend, a fancy algorithm, maybe a degree in finance? What do you think?
Well, the answer is way, way simpler than all that. And it's something every single one of us already has. It's time. Yep, that's it. The most critical ingredient isn't some deep, complex knowledge. It's just having the discipline to start early and let time do all the heavy lifting for you. So why is time such a big deal? It all comes down to this one almost magical concept: compounding. This is the real why behind the rush to start investing, even if it's just with small amounts, as soon as you possibly can. You know, our brains are just not wired to really get exponential growth. It's a tough concept. So check this out. Imagine you have a normal piece of paper. If you could somehow fold it in half 50 times, its thickness would stretch all the way to the sun. I know it sounds impossible, but that is the mind-bending power of compounding at work.
So what is compounding really? Simply put, it's your money making money on itself. Your first investment earns a return, and then that new, bigger amount starts earning its own return. The snowball analogy is perfect. It starts small, but as it rolls downhill, it picks up more and more snow, getting bigger and moving faster. That's your money.
Okay, if that paper folding thing felt a little abstract, this'll make it hit home. Let me tell you the tale of two savers, Michelle and Matt. Look at this. Michelle invests for just 10 years, from age 22 to 32, and then stops, cold. Matt waits a decade to start, but he's diligent. He invests for the next 30 years. So Matt invests 3 times more money than Michelle, a whopping $90,000 to her $30,000. But who ends up with more at age 62? Michelle, by over $130,000. That's just wild, right? The only difference was those first 10 years of compounding. That is the power of starting now.
Okay, are you convinced? The why should be pretty clear by now. So great, let's get into the how. Before you put a single dollar into an investment, there are a few foundational steps that you absolutely cannot skip. This is all about building your financial house on solid rock, not on sand.
And look, before you even think about putting a dollar into the stock market, step 1 is tackling high-interest debt. This quote from the SEC says it all. It is one of the best investments you can possibly make. Just think about it. If you got a credit card with, say, a 20% interest rate, paying that off is like earning a guaranteed, risk-free 20% return on your money. You're not going to find a stock that can promise you that, ever.
So here's your game plan. It's a simple 3-step process. First, you've got to make a financial plan to get a crystal clear picture of where you are right now. Second, create a budget so you know exactly where your money is going. And third, use that info to go after that high-interest debt.
I know that first step. Make a financial plan. Can sound kind of vague and intimidating, but it's not. All it is this: a net worth statement. It's just a simple list. On one side, you write down everything you own that has value. Those are your assets. On the other side, you write down everything you owe. Those are your liabilities. Subtract what you owe from what you own, and boom, that's your net worth. It's your financial starting line. Simple as that.
All right, so your foundation is getting solid. You're tackling that debt. Now what? Now we talk strategy. A core strategy that helps take the emotion, the fear, and all the guesswork out of the whole process.
This strategy is called dollar cost averaging, or DCA for short, and honestly, it's a game changer for beginners. The idea is so simple. You invest a fixed amount of money on a regular schedule, say $100 every single month. No matter what the market is doing, up, down, sideways, you just keep investing. This stops you from falling into that classic trap of trying to perfectly time the market.
Let's see how this actually plays out. You're investing your $100. In January, the share price is $10, so you buy 10 shares. Easy enough. But look at February. The price drops to $8. A lot of people would panic, right? But for you, this is great news. Your same $100 now buys you more shares, 12.5 of them. Then in March, when the price is higher, your $100 automatically buys you fewer shares. Over time, this smooths things out and can actually lower your average cost per share.
Okay, foundation? Check. Strategy? Check. The million-dollar question is, where does the money actually go? let's look at some of the most beginner-friendly tools you can use for your portfolio.
For a ton of people, the easiest place to start is right at work with your 401k. It's automated, it's simple. Beyond that, you've got things like mutual funds and exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. You can think of both of them like a bento box of investments. One purchase gets you a little bit of a whole bunch of different stocks or bonds. That gives you diversification instantly. A key difference is that ETFs usually trade throughout the day like a stock, while mutual funds are typically priced just once at the end of the day.
Okay, lean in for this one. If you remember nothing else about your 401k, remember this. A lot of employers offer something called a match. That means if you put money in, they'll put money in too, up to a certain point. As Bankrate says here, not taking advantage of this is literally turning down free money. I'm going to say that again. It is free money. It's an immediate 100% return on your investment. You can't beat that anywhere else.
So we've talked a lot about what you should do, but it's just as important, maybe even more important, to talk about what not to do. Avoiding just a few common mistakes can mean the difference between reaching your goals and, well, not.
And this quote right here, this sums up probably the biggest trap that new investors fall into. They try to be traders. They try to time the market, jumping in and out, trying to buy at the absolute bottom and sell at the absolute top. It's a loser's game, trust me. Real wealth is built by staying invested for the long haul. It's all about time in the market.
So here are the big traps to sidestep. First, don't follow the herd. Don't buy something just because everyone on social media is screaming about it. Second, don't chase past performance. Just because a fund did great last year doesn't mean it will this year. And finally, and this one is crucial, don't forget your emergency fund. Before you invest, make sure you have 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up in cash. This is your safety net. This is what keeps a small problem from becoming a financial disaster.
See, the secret to investing isn't some complex Wall Street formula that only geniuses understand. It's about starting early, being consistent, and just avoiding a few simple mistakes. You know the power of time. You've got a roadmap. So the only question left is the one on your screen. What small amount are you going to start with today?